Thank you for joining us on KTN Weekend Prime this first day of March 2015. We are streaming live www.ktnkenya.tv. My name is Yvonne Okwara-Matole. Let's get you up to date with all the top stories this Sunday. Now, the week is set to kick off with fiery allegations at the National Assembly over corruption in parliamentary committees. Parliament's Accounts Committee opened the Pandora's box after 13 of its members voted to oust their leader Ababu Namwamba over allegations of corruption. As Ashamwulu reports, the two sides of the House are now gearing up for a major showdown over this new development.
Budalangi MP Ababu Namwamba may have dodged a bullet last week, but the ODM Secretary General is not yet out of the woods.
An observation on it.
Majority Leader Eden Duale is turning the heat on Namwamba a notch higher. Duale says the corruption allegations against Ababu has caught the opposition flat-footed.
You cannot chair the Watchdog Committee of Parliament, the most powerful committee, Public Accounts Committee, and 13 members of that committee, they tell you, Mr. Chairman, you have serious, fundamental integrity issues.
But the ODM brigade is not taking the shots lying down.
We could not go on with passing vote of no confidence on Ababu because there was no evidence, number one. Number two, there were serious allegations on many members. And number three, this thing became political.
And as the politics in the Parliamentary Accounts Committee revealed the corridors of corruption in Parliament, the integrity of the National Assembly is now hanging in the balance.
Stand firm, kule mbele, muhakikishe kwamba heshima ya bunge itarudi na bunge isionekane kwamba wabunge wanaguzwa ili maripoti ambayo ni hafifu yatoke kule.
Lazima upinzani wakae chini. Wakae chini watuletee wale wajumbe ambao wanajua si wafisadi na ambao wataendesha kamati ya Public Accounts Committee.
To redeem the image of Parliament, PAC must be dissolved and reconstituted afresh. Even if it is a matter of removing people like Bari, wacha tuende nyumbani. Because you cannot sit, I cannot feel comfortable sitting in a committee that is accused of corruption.
Parliament's Accounts Committee, which plays the watchdog role on matters corruption, has been left in disarray after its chairperson, Ababu Namwamba, survived a vote of no confidence last Thursday over allegations of corruption. But with MPs going back and forth over the graft claims against Namwamba, it appears the plot is just beginning. Ashamwulu, KTN.
The government will, in the next 2 weeks, roll out an intensive security operation in Baringo County to flush out cattle rustlers and criminals. Deputy President William Ruto today issued this stern warning, adding that the government will hold no more talks with warring communities, as it will only move in to act and restore peace. Sharon Mamanyi reports.
Lazima watafute biashara ingine. Kwa sababu hiyo biashara ya kuiba ng'ombe lazima ikome.
That was a stern warning by Deputy President William Ruto to cattle rustlers in Baringo, an area that has suffered a spate of attacks owing to the vice. Speaking at a church function in Mogotio SEK Church, Baringo County Governor Benjamin Cheboy faulted security operatives in the region, accusing them of sleeping on the job.
Upeane directive kwa the security forces. Wako hapa wengi. Lakini sijui ni kitu gani inawafanya wasifanye yale yanatakikana kulinda watu.
From now going forward, hatutakuwa tunaongea na watu, eti tunawaita tunawaambia tuongee mambo ya wizi ya ng'ombe, no. From now going forward, we will roll the government machinery to make sure that every citizen is safe in their country.
Ruto, who on Saturday met with MPs from pastoralist communities, says the national government will now intervene in the situation and will strive to settle the anxiety in the region once and for all.
Mutupatie wiki mbili ama wiki tatu. Tutahakikisha ya kwamba wale wote waliosukuma mipaka wanarudishwa mpaka mahali mipaka ilikuweko, na watoto warudi shuleni.
Cattle rustling has been a long-standing menace in Baringo County, one that has cost the lives of many locals, leaving residents to live in constant fear. Many children have been pulled out of school over the rising insecurity. But with a tough-talking deputy president warning the rustlers that their time is running out, the locals can only wait and see if any action will follow. Sharma Manyi, KTN.
All radical youth in Mombasa County who fail to reform will be flushed out by police officers to face the law. Leaders in the county say they will no longer turn a blind eye to the rising cases of radicalization, especially in notorious areas like Old Town.
When the constant violent flare-ups in Mombasa led to the arrest of hundreds of youths, the county's leadership went on defense mode. But for the first time, political leaders in Mombasa agree that a good number of youths in the county have either been radicalized or are in the threat of being radicalized.
Jana wanaofanya ulevi, wanaovuta bangi, wanaovuta mihadarati, leo wao wana uwezo wa kishehe kutoa fatwa. Drunkards, drug addicts.
Tukianza kukubali ya kuwa katika jamii yetu sisi tunakubali vijana wafanye uhalifu, ya kuanza kudunga watu visu, tuktuk ikipita mtu anateremshwa, na wengine wanatumia jina la lugha ya dini, sisi ndio tutakuwa masuhulia kesho mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kama viongozi tulifanya kitu gani.
Old Town area in Mombasa is specifically a red zone for authorities, and leaders now plan to actively flush out the radicals in the society.
Hata tumepanga itakuwa ni siku ya Ijumaa hii ambao tunawaita wazee wote wa mji wa katika area hii, na tunawaita walimu wa madrasa na walimu na maimamu msikiti, ili kauli yetu iwe ni kitu kimoja.
Ijumaa tutakuja pale Old Town kuwapatia onyo vijana, and if they do not listen, kwa sababu tutawajua bora wanapomaishi, we will go after them home by home.
The historic Old Town was a tourist hub for many years, but the recent wave of crime has driven most tourists out of the area. Many have argued that the idle youth have opted to take up criminal activities. But with leaders now beginning to talk tough on issues like radicalization, stakeholders can only hope that the effort is not a little too late. Ashamwilu, KTN.
Let's give you some news in brief now. A Guinean national was arrested Friday evening at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport while carrying 11.8 kilograms of heroin. The man, identified as Ramadi Diakite, was traveling from Arusha, Tanzania to Bamako, Mali, when he was intercepted at the airport. The anti-narcotics detective said the narcotics were concealed as cosmetics in his luggage. The drugs were later taken for analysis and tests and proven to be almost 12 kilos of heroin with a street value of 35.5 million shillings. And in a bid to bring justice closer to the people, the Judicial Service Commission has allocated 500 million shillings to build and rehabilitate courts in Lower Eastern and Kajiado regions. The move, aiming to expedite justice to Kenyans in the region, will see high courts established in Makueni and Kajiado. The JSC aims to have high courts in all 47 counties in the next 5 years. Finally, in Mandera, inter-clan fighting between the Gare and Digodia communities has claimed the lives of 2 people. One person was stabbed and another killed later in a suspected revenge attack Sunday afternoon. The Digodia and Gare clans have a long history of conflict and violence that claimed the lives of 100 people last year alone. All right, we want to move on to matters of sports, and we start off with football. George Blackberry Odhiambo netted in a crucial 90th minute goal to aid KPL champions Gor Mahia through to the next round of the 2015 CAF Champions League. The match ended 3-2 in Madagascar. Kogalo will have the away goal rule to thank for their progression. The hosts had taken an early lead through a deflected shot that beat Boniface Olwoch at the near post, but Gor Mahia equalized moments later through Ali Abondo. Synapse regained the lead in the 38th minute and extended the scoreline to 3-1. Before the break, Gor Mahia, who put up a fight in the second half, failed to score. It all seemed over for Kogalo by the 90th minute before substitute Blackberry scored a crucial goal in the first minute of added time for a final 3-2 score and an aggregate of 3-0. Kogalo, who won the first match 1-0 at home, will now face AC Leopards in the next round. The ITF Wheelchair World Team Cup African qualifiers came to an end today at the Nairobi club as South African players reigned supreme. Els Leon beat Morocco's Etali Ayub in the men's singles finals category, while Venta Mareshka beat Eluri Azur in the women's singles finals.
With all eyes set on the World Team Cup Wheelchair Tennis Finals in Turkey later in the year, South Africa's world number 9 Venta Mareshka took on Morocco's Elhari Azur in the African qualifier women finals here in Nairobi. The first set seemed even from the start before Venta pulled through to win the set 7-5. In the second set, the South African proved too strong for the Moroccan to handle as she won the set 6-2 to be crowned singles champion. In the men's singles, it was again South Africa taking on Morocco. Els Leon from South Africa ruled the first set as he faced Etali Ayub, winning the set 6-0. Leon had an easy time in the second set as he won 6-1 to take the honors. The South African is now looking forward to the challenge of excelling in the World Team Cup in Turkey.
The World Team Cup is also always very tough, but it's enjoyable. Competitiveness, to compete there, you know, that's what we do. That's what we live for.
Despite Kenyan players missing out in the finals, Kenyan officials are optimistic that Kenyan players can produce better results in the future.
So arrangement to get more than one event at least to start with, that is of a ranking level, so that the players can be exposed.
In other matches of the day, Kenya's Taken Timon beat Ghana's Antumanui Isaac to take the 3rd place, while Bernard Namasapani from Tanzania beat Arimon Mario to take 5th place. Robinson Okenye, KTN Sports.
Junior golfer Mwangi Kimemia, playing off handicap 8, returned an impressive score of 38 points, beating over 100 other juniors at the Par 71 Muthaiga Golf Club during the 13th leg of the ongoing 2014-2015 Barclays Golf Circuit. The teenage golfer was followed closely by J. Devji G. Bachu, Kibugu Mutahi, who scored 34, 33 and 32 points respectively. Gaili Singh, playing off handicap 11, returned a score of 40 points to win the tournament. Tanvir Sodhi, Victor Laibuni, Kamau Thuge and Kaushit Pandit on 36 points joined him at qualifying to compete at the grand finale on the 28th of March at the Karen Country Club. The event attracted 250 players. The ongoing circuit has been hosted in 13 golf courses countrywide, and so far 84 players have qualified for the grand finale. Each of them will now compete for one of 20 slots availed at the 5th Barclays Kenya Open. All right, let's go further afield now, and some good news for Liverpool fans as the team bagged 3 crucial points at home against Manchester City to move to 5th in the league log. Philippe Coutinho scored a stunning winner as Liverpool dented Manchester City's Premier League title defence with a narrow victory at Anfield. Jordan Henderson's curling effort put the Reds ahead before Edin Dzeko finished off a slick move to equalise. But Brazil midfielder Coutinho capped a fine display with a decisive goal when he struck from 25 yards. The result leaves City 5 points behind Chelsea, having played a game extra, while Liverpool move to 5th place. All right, and we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight or this morning, wherever you are watching us from. This has been KTN Weekend Prime. Remember to keep it ktnkenya.tv for more news updates from us here at the Standard Group Centre. Thanks for watching. My name is Yvonne Okwara Matole.